Welcome in to episode 3 of the Hoop Central podcast. Hamilton Neal, along with Andrew Neal and Ellington Neal. Here in tonight's show, we're going to be talking about not quite as much that we've had in our first 2 episodes, but we will have some recruiting news to talk about, some men's basketball recruiting news, and also some NCAA men's basketball headlines as well. I want to start in recruiting with 5-star point guard Dacian Nix from the 2020 class. He just recently decommitted from UCLA and will play in the NBA G League for one season, entering the G League pathway like Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd. His contract around $400,000 or so. Interesting to see this come from a player who's ranked outside of the top 10.
It's a little surprising. I mean, yeah, it is a little surprising because it's a guy outside the top 10, but I guess they think he has potential.
Yeah, I think this is going to be coming up a good decision for guys because the college route is let's just say it's not for everyone. Some guys they've had to for a while now, but this is going to prevent any schools paying players. Not like that was going to happen again anyway, but if it was, this would prevent that, especially for the top guys. So I think for the guys who have already put their names in, it'll end up being a good decision. And he will be playing on the same LA-based team as Jalen Green and Isaiah Todd. And this is just perfect for Green and Nix. These two guys out of California, that area, the West Coast, they wanted to play together. It wouldn't have happened in college, just because of the different schools that were recruiting them. But now it will happen in the NBA G League. So Dacian Nix bypassing college, as is Josh Hall, a 2024 star small forward. Different situation with him. He played a post-grad year this past year at Moravian Prep. He was signed to NC State, but because he played that 5th year, he is 19 and eligible to enter the 2020 NBA draft. It's the 2nd straight year that NC State has seen their top signee spurn them to go to the NBA. Jalen McQuaid did it last year. Yeah, looking at it, it's kind of became something regular for NC State to not have their top guy in the past 2 classes. I just don't know how much stock he has. The teams know about him, but
yeah, we'll see. Maybe a second round. I don't know. It just depends. This isn't the strongest draft. You never know. So.
And there's not as much out there with him as there would be with the 5-star prospect. He hasn't been to all the camps. He hasn't been at all the events that a lot of the 5-star players are at. So information on him is very limited. I think he's a wild card, toss-up type of player. I would hope to see him get drafted, but just my gut feeling says he goes undrafted. And we'll have to try to earn a spot in Summer League. We'll just have to wait and see. Jalen McQuaid had to do the same thing. Went undrafted. Was picked up by Phoenix, though, and was back down in the G League with them. So it's a tough road for guys. He feels this is the best possible route to get to the NBA. Again, bypassing college. Not going to play for NC State. Also, 2 2021 5-stars have cut their list down. Power forward Paulo Banchero is down to 6. Those are Duke, Kentucky, Washington, Tennessee, Gonzaga, and Arizona. And point guard Kennedy Chandler just dropped his top 5 of Duke, Kentucky, Memphis, Tennessee, and North Carolina. These 2 guys thinking about playing in college together, and they have some of the same schools on their list. Both have Duke, Kentucky, as well as Tennessee.
All of those from Washington, right? So
yes.
I think you could go the route of Jaden McDaniels. Jalen or Jaden, I'm sorry. Jaden, I'm sorry. But, yeah, go to Washington. I think you could go to Washington, actually. But I don't know who the favorite is.
Right now, there haven't been a whole lot of predictions. The 247 Sports Crystal Ball. Right now, it's really, there's some foggy predictions. It's mainly Washington that's getting that buzz.
I would go with them.
Yeah. You're going to stay home. He's seen some other guys do it, so we'll see. I think it's either here, Washington or Duke. And Duke has done some good things in this recruitment, so I think it's going to be down to those 2. And again, Kennedy Chandler has Duke, Kentucky, expected to probably be one of those 2, but he plays in Tennessee, so don't want to discount the Volunteers or the Memphis Tigers. Yeah. Right now, Tennessee would actually probably have a little bit more buzz than Memphis, but those 2 guys cut their list down. Paulo Banchero and Kennedy Chandler. Also, Kerwin Walton a 2024 star shooting guard, has committed to North Carolina. 2021 five-star center Charles Bediako has been offered by Michigan. And one of the top players, arguably the top player in the class of 2023, forward Omaha Billy, has been offered by Illinois. Yeah, Illinois trying to get involved with the top guys. They're trying to get in the mix. Of course, this is really early with him, but a lot of schools are going to come in for these guys, even if they end up going to the NBA. I think some schools are still going to try to recruit guys from, especially this class. Again, you look at the class of 2023, really stacked at the top. Obviously, you have Bronny James, son of LeBron James, right up there. But most rankings early on, there's no official rankings that are really out yet. Some of the other rankings that we've seen from sources don't have him at number one. It's Billy. He's a guy that's right up there at the top. We'll see one rankings come out who's number one. Expected to be Omaha Billy, maybe not Bronny James right at the beginning, but Illinois' offer, Georgia has also come in as well. Over to NCAA men's basketball, a couple of headlines here. Memphis transfer Tyler Harris has committed to Iowa State. That's a school that recruited him out of high school. And also VCU transfer Marcus Santos-Silva has committed to Texas Tech. In other news with Texas Tech, Jamias Ramsey has entered the 2020 NBA draft. So they lose their top defender and freshman. Here they get a really, really good player in Silva who was very good at VCU for a couple of years.
Good pickup for them, and then Iowa State, I think it's a great pickup with Harris.
Great fit. Tyler Harris is a bite-sized point guard. He's under 6 foot, but he's very quick. He likes to make shots on the outside, and that's what Iowa State wants. They want the high-octane offensive system in place to fit their point guards, and he's going to be a really, really good point guard for them. He almost committed to them out of high school, but when Penny Hardaway came in as the head coach of Memphis in the spring of 2018, that's what swayed him towards Memphis was Penny. If Penny didn't come in, he wouldn't have ever been at Memphis. Yeah, that's just what happens. When a coach comes in, it affects the player's decision. But I think he's going to be really good at Iowa State. I think he's going to get some good touches and some good playing time. And finally tonight, Wake Forest has a new men's basketball coach, and that is Steve Forbes. He was at East Tennessee State and really led some good teams there at ETSU. They just could not move forward with Danny Manning. He won under 80 games in the time he was there. Just was not more of a fresh feel with Wake Forest. They weren't winning a lot of games, and they were always near the bottom of the ACC standings. Yeah, they didn't get above 10 the whole time he was there, so they really underwhelmed the whole time he was the coach. Absolutely, and I think there's a new energy with Wake Forest now. They've already offered some guys. Steve Forbes has won at a high level. East Tennessee State has been one of the best teams in the Southern Conference for a long time, and this year, had there been a tournament, they could have won a couple of games. I mean, they were really that good of a team. But now at Wake Forest, this is what these coaches are going to do. Have a chance to move up. We saw it last year with Mike Young from Wofford. Saw the Virginia Tech opening and took it. Now Steve Forbes at Wake Forest.
I think they'll try to turn them around because they haven't done too well. In a long. They've only been to the tournament once in maybe this whole century.
Yeah.
They haven't. Well, not what am I saying? I meant the decade. I'm sorry. Of course, in the 2000s they were pretty good. Of course, Chris Paul and Skip Prosser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the former coach. So they were great then in that decade. Sorry, the 2010s is where they hardly make the tournaments at one time. So they're trying to rebuild.
Yeah, and again, that starts with Steve Forbes as the new head coach. They've had some players transfer out because of this. Olivier Sarr, was one of their top players, transferred. Sean D. Brown also a while back announced he's transferring. So there were some effects, with the fact that Wake Forest let Danny Manning go, but it was time to do so and make a move to try to get a new head coach, and Steve Forbes is that guy. So again, that's a lot of what's going on in the sport of basketball right now. There has been some news coming out with the NBA. There are some venues that are throwing out, hey, we could help you finish your season. MGM Resorts in Vegas and also Disney World have talked to the NBA and the WNBA as well.
about for the NBA resuming their season, for the WNBA starting their season. The preseason and the regular season was supposed to start in a couple of weeks. Obviously, that will not happen at this point in time, but the NBA hopefully can pick their season back up. The WNBA hopefully can start their season as well. We'll keep everyone updated with that. We are on a lot of different sites right now. We have this podcast up on YouTube. We're on Vimeo. Also, the Hoop Central podcast here are now on Vimeo. Also on hoopcenter.blogspot.com. Live updates from Twitter at HoopCentral7. A lot of big updates coming there as well. Again, with the latest in basketball. So, again, this has been Hoop Central Podcast Episode 3. Thank you for listening.